Bhavesh. Welcome to the Festival of Marketing by BW Marketing World. So, I have a few questions for you. These days, to catch consumers' attentions, brands are like blurring the lines between entertainment and marketing. What is your take on this?
So I totally understand where this concern is coming from, but I do believe like it all depends on the Gen Z and the millennials that we are targeting at this point of time. A lot of brands they want to capture the young audience, and most of this young audience, like they are very active on social platforms, including like Instagram, Reels, YouTube Shorts, and XYZ. And these are the platforms not just responsible for the brand reach, but they are also responsible to make sure that the user is using these platforms very regularly in order to have a healthy retention. So I do understand like there's a very strong blend, but in order to find the right audience, it is very important as well. So there might be a lot of entertainment coming up, but the strategies are totally part of their marketing strategy.
All right. So, as a marketer, if I ask you that, how do you maintain a balance between your short-term performance marketing goals and long-term brand building goals during the festive season?
I mean, in terms of festive season, like at this point of time, there are a lot of opportunities for marketers to understand like when would be a peak season and targeting the right user at the right time. So let's say if in case there's Diwali coming up, so in that case, there's so many. For example, there's like a BFSI product that is getting launched. So in that case, what they can do is like they can provide a lot of concessions, a lot of like easy EMI options for their end user, and make sure like it coincides with the brand message of Diwali, because a lot of people they will need a lot of money for travel, they will need money for gifts, they will need money for clothes. In that case, there's one example. The other example would be, let's say, for example, quick delivery apps, for example, Zepto or Blinkit. So they know, like in Diwali, people spend a lot of time with their families. So they would more likely order products online, and there would be a lot of quick commerce business happening. So their marketing strategies have to be like really, really festive centric, and a lot of users they do appreciate this kind of festive centric approach in that case.
Okay, so speaking of festivals, there is a lot of noise during the festive season. All the brands are advertising, at their peak levels. So, how can a brand stand out at that point of time?
So as I said, like in order to stand out, you need to make sure that, of course, like the product is well accustomed in order to the use of the end consumers. Because if there's a need, only then the product is going to be sold. If in case, irrespective of the marketing season or not, or the festive season, if the product is not as per the fit of the end user, it won't be selling. So if the product is, as I said, like pretty much into demand, you just need to make sure the message goes in the correct way. So basically, like for example, Cadbury rolled out an ad, like which is more about sharing happiness, and then there are certain ads which are more about respecting your elders. So these are the moments which you need to create from your brand. Rather than just marketing the product, you market a message out there.
So, as a marketer, what would you advise the young generation who's joining the marketing world or the marketing sector as young professionals?
So I think first of all, you need to make sure that you are getting all your teachings right, because if you're pretty much young in the marketing world, you need to understand how the basic Google products work, like UAC or Facebook audience platforms, they work at the same point of time, because they cover almost like 80 to 90% of the marketing spends from digital spends. And if in case you're focusing more towards the out of home, so you need to understand like how billboards and these kind of uh, advertising aspects work and how much reach they are having. And so the first idea is to make sure like you collect a lot of information, the knowledge which is getting poured into the industry, because industry is changing very fast, and automation is taking a huge pie of the industry now, because there are so many cases where marketers are feeling like I don't need a big marketing team, I just need to automate things now. So you need to automate things, you need to learn automation platforms. So this is what I would advise, like learn, educate, and then come into the complete full force. So yeah.
Okay, that was quite insightful. I hope people get help through this.
Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for your time,
Thanks.
Mr. Bhavesh.